Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, he requested an intimacy coordinator for this conversation. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, buddy. How you doing?
I am doing well. Sorry to the listeners out there that we took last week off. A lot of things going on in the world, in Shane and my world.
Well, let's be real, Andrew. It's my fault, people. Like, sometimes life comes at you, and then sometimes they throw a tree right in your way.
I was about to say, I didn't want to put your business on Front Street,
okay.
But if you want to put it out there, go for it, man.
Yeah, I was out mountain biking, people, and ate a tree. I tried to eat a tree, and it didn't work, and the tree got the best of me, and it kind of laid me out all week. So, but I'm back, baby.
Yeah, it's like twofold, because didn't you say you hit a root too hard and then hit the tree? So it's like they're trying to get you from below, they're trying to get you from above.
It worked.
I'm surprised a limb didn't fall on your head after you hit the tree.
It worked. Nature
Land,
won.
sea, and air. But I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're doing better, up and about, because, you're much more of a tough guy than I am. So I know if that happened to me, I'd be like, so podcast is over? We're just done? We just cancel now? We're just over? So I'm glad, again, you're a big boy. You can handle it. You're back. And I appreciate the hustle and getting things done. Still watching everything. It's not like you're slowing everything down. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to cover today. But we're going to do it in a fun little way because it's kind of, again, we're in September now. September has now become kind of August redux, sort of.
A little bit.
Because until we see the early version of whatever possible Oscar winner or award season stuff happens, where we're going to get a Paul Thomas Anderson movie at the end of the month and things like that, we're just kind of still seeing what sticks. But at least the box office recovered this past weekend. We'll get into that in one of our topics as The Conjuring returned full force to high numbers. So we'll get there on that.
Jeez.
But today we're going to do what we're calling 5 best things. So in the time that we, between last week and this week, what were the 5 best things that we had out there? And we have a variety of topics, so we didn't stick to just covering movie reviews and TV reviews. So we tossed in some other stuff. Let's start up top, Shane, because NFL is back, baby. And I'm sure you consumed a lot of that as well. I did. And I'm not even we're both Jets fans. Feel sorry for us both. But we love our team, but it's been a struggle, in the past few years. So it's one of those
decades.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I always go everybody seems to be oh, you guys had some whatever. And 1969, dude. Shut up. Shut up.
I know.
I'm a long-suffering fan. So it's a good time to at least just go hang out with friends, have a nice fun football Sunday. And then we got spoiled this week because it was Thursday, Friday, Sunday. If you're a college football guy, you get extra. So, and then now Monday Night Football is going on as we speak. So, it's nonstop. But what did you like from our boys? We'll do first topic here. It's our sports stories collection here. Start with our Jets. Give first impressions, because you watch way more of the game. I had a busy mid-afternoon, so I caught some, but you seemed to catch it all. And then the dagger of losing with a 60-yard field goal is obnoxious, and I hate Aaron Rodgers, and of course I don't want that to happen.
I know. It's life as a Jets fan for all you Jet fans out there. I mean, but overall, I was very encouraged. I really was. It's a game we had. It's a game I thought we were going to win heading into the fourth quarter until things just kind of fell apart for 2 minutes. But overall, the encouraging sign is of our offense. We put up 32 points. We didn't punt in the first half at all.
Yeah.
We ran the ball. We ran the ball at will, which was encouraging because we lost our best run blocking offensive lineman right before the season started.
Yeah, Barrett Tucker, yeah.
Pittsburgh knew what we were going to do. They knew we were going to run the ball.
And they know Justin Fields very well.
Yeah. And Justin Fields, to his credit, took what the defense gave him, was very accurate, looked poised back there.
Yep.
And the coaching staff looked good. They had us prepared to play, which I couldn't say in the last decade on opening day. We looked lost half the time.
Yeah.
So a couple plays here and there. And at the end of the day, like you said, we lose a fumble, which was a turning point, but then we lose on a 60-yard field goal. Yeah, I mean, typically that's life as a Jets fan, because most teams would like march on the field and kick the game-winning field goal, but that's not us. We're not there yet.
No.
But there's a lot of good to take out of this game, and it has me looking a little more forward to the rest of the season, obviously. So everyone thought heading into this game it was going to be like 17-13, 10 to whatever, 10-17.
Yeah.
And it was 34-32. So go figure. And Aaron Rodgers, go fuck yourself is all I'll say.
Absolutely. Go back to your ayahuasca tent and never come back.
Yeah.
This was a revenge game. That's what made me so upset that we didn't get our full revenge. But we definitely acquitted ourselves, with a full compliment, like you said. Great running. Justin Fields, I saw a Twitter football stat thing that he was the most efficient quarterback of every quarterback in the league coming in like by end of Sunday. So that's amazing. So I'll take that all day because that's not his MO. So to do it in week 1 against a solid defense that and Tomlin is always prepared. So I will absolutely take that. I just hate the fact that when I did watch, I was like, why is Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden unstoppable? Like, what the hell? And again, it could simply just be he's that far away from his ruptured Achilles
injury,
and whatever. But at some point, it's like, what is he, 42? Like, I know he keeps in good shape, but like, stop it. Stop it already. Or at least suck week 1, please. But of course, we probably got the best of him, which is obnoxious. And we'll see where it goes going forward. But encouraging stuff for our Jets. I did also want to touch on, as far as like sports stories are concerned, did you see the Phillies woman that like literally broke the internet?
I saw the headline, but I don't know the details, so you're going to have to fill me in on this one.
So a home run ball hit by Harrison Bader of the Phillies. They're in Miami playing the Marlins. And it goes into this woman's section. A guy who's with his son, who we later find out it was his birthday, this young boy. The dad goes over. He's tracking the ball. He sees the ball. He gets the ball, even though he had to move over a little bit from his seats to go get it. But that's what you have. It's always a scrum when you go for a home run ball. He takes the ball. He goes back. He gives it to his son. He's so happy to be like that great dad who gets a home run ball for his son on his birthday. It's like a Disney movie. Like, holy shit, you couldn't have planned that any better. And then this woman who she's been lovingly called like the Philadelphia Karen or Phillies Karen online, just runs over to him, yells at him for taking the ball from her section, all this stuff, demands the ball back from the boy who has it at this point, not even the man, but she's yelling at the man to like get the ball back from his son, who, again, his birthday, the whole thing. He doesn't fight her. He doesn't go crazy. He simply takes the ball and he gives it back to her. And so, but this is all on TV. Like this all got, recorded or whatever. So not only did the Miami Marlins staff collect a bunch of like memorabilia, merch, and everything else, and gave a gift basket to the boy to be like, happy birthday, you're awesome, and did it like right next to where this woman was. But now the whole he got a tour behind the scenes. Like they did everything for this kid because they felt so bad that this woman lost her mind on this family. And then now the internet has basically like made her like almost the equivalent of, you remember that, what was that Australian breakdancer in the Olympics that like everyone made fun of?
Yes.
It's like that level. Like every meme is just her as like this screaming meme piece of crap person. And like there are stories out there that her name got leaked, that she lost her job, like all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that happened, because how and why? Like, and especially I think they said at one point she's a teacher. I'm like, there's no way she's losing a union job that fast because she just lost her mind at a baseball game. Not happening. So all that though, happy ending where the staff of the Marlins stepped up. The whole the teams combined. They made this kid's birthday amazing. And, a bad person got called out for being bad. So the world won in the end. And shout out to that dad for not overreacting back at her overreaction and just crush that woman. But yeah, no, all good all around.
I was about to say that, and I'll just add this. My first thought was that dad is awesome because honestly, Andrew, with my temper, I would have taken Karen and thrown her over the left field wall onto the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
I seriously would have. I would have lost my crap if she got in my kid's face demanding the baseball.
So hard. Like, again, it's one of those you probably know you're being recorded too, but I know. I know. But again, like, that's the thing too. The internet probably still would have like said that guy's amazing and made like Mortal Kombat memes where he destroys her. So that probably would have happened. But this, I think, is the best of both worlds.
It's the better. Yeah, it's taking the high road and it worked out. So I'm glad to hear that it had a happy ending.
Yeah, same here. So a good sports weekend, not great results all the way for all my teams and everything else. My Mets played well, but they still lost 2 out of 3. So I'm all mixed up in terms of the weekend. But let's get to what we do best, Shane. Let's talk some movies. Let's talk some TV. The next topic is the huge weekend for The Conjuring Last Rites, which made $194 million worldwide over the weekend. 84 of that domestic, 110 overseas. And Shane, I personally watched The Conjuring for the first time so I could watch this one, even though you're like, yeah, you probably only need to watch The Conjuring before you watch this one. Like, you're like, oh, this one's good too in that universe. Watch Annabelle Creation, or what did you say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Annabelle Creation, yep.
So there's like, you're like, oh, this is fine universe. Like, these two are probably the better ones, whatever you could do. I'll tell you, man, I had a pretty awesome weekend watching The Conjuring, watching Conjuring Last Rites. I'm into this universe. I now want to watch them all. Like, I don't know about like.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like. I'd have to see about like the extended universe, like the Annabelles and the nuns. Like, it's freaky, but I think, would you say, as a person who's a more connoisseur of this, that the Warrens are the reason you watch it, and like everything else is like kind of a ghost of the week thing, and the effectiveness can wear on that. But I think these movies make so much money. This made more than any of the other ones as far as like opening weekend, and we'll see where it ends up. But I think that's the story here, is that I think, especially if they thought this might be the last one, because that was the thought process here, that's a quality group of movies, or at least like what I've seen is quality work. They know what it is, and everybody signs up for it. It's like, the ghost version of SVU. Like, people will just watch it all the time. They just need, a new story to talk about from the files of the Warren family. Plus, I literally watched it a heartbeat away from Monroe, where they lived. I was in Trumbull for the movie. So, amazing. We're Connecticutans, Connecticutians. I've heard all kinds of stupid things.
I like the first
nutmeggers
one you laid out. No, let's go Connecticutans.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. So it's a pride point now, and it's good. And so when you watched all of these now, give me like your overview of the universe as you've seen it, and then where did this one line up for you with everything else?
The universe, like you said, even though I gave you a couple of the higher end entries to watch, it's a watchable universe. Like, but it's up and down. You'll get a really good one, then you'll get like 2 or 3 meh.
Sure.
Those are okay. I would say, like, as far as the extended universe goes, the Nuns are probably the weakest pair of movies.
Okay. So wait on that.
Wait on that one. The Annabelle movies were decent. And then, you got this Conjuring that came out. So I was pretty excited, especially watching the trailers. I'm like, okay, they're going for it on this one.
Yeah.
All that to say, oh boy. This one I felt like was another meh entry into the universe.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. At 2 hours and I think my biggest issue with this movie, at 2 hours and 15 minutes, it felt bloated. I felt like it is because
it's a finale.
I know, and I thought about that when I got out of the movie. I'm like, they want to give this story about the Warrens, their family, their daughter, her getting married, all these things, right? And I do get that. But at the end of the day, like, some of that stuff was boring. And I'm like, can we just, like, get back to Pittsburgh and, like, get going with this ghost story
You're the
here?
first person who's ever going to say that in your life.
I know, right? But no, I
just had to do that for all the Pittsburgh Steeler talk we were doing before, too. It just lines up. Yeah.
But once they got to, like, the Smurl family stuff, I was into it.
Yeah, me too.
And when they got into some of the Warren stuff, it was okay. I just felt like it got too bloated. They honestly could have shaved like 20 minutes off this film, and I think it would have been a little tighter.
Yeah.
But the effects were there. The atmospheric, like what's going to happen next, was there. It was good. It had me on the edge of my seat. Had some good practical effects. I really liked the story with the Smurl family. Though I would have been living on the street. I don't know why they lived there 3 months, like 8 people in a house. I just would have been out at that point. Just, I don't care what happens.
Well, again, what'd they say? A family of 7, 8, whatever it was.
Yeah,
like
8.
You can't go anywhere. Like if I had me and my 2 kids, like it'd be hard enough to go somewhere. You know? Like I did feel for them in that way. Be like, but that tells you more about America that they could, or like, or where they live, or what the time was like. Shouldn't they also probably have been, the church should have been like, these people need help. They could stay at the church for the time being,
right?
You know, or something. But yeah, I had a lot of questions in that regard too. Yeah.
But I did like the story. Like I said, that family story, I liked a lot of the effects. I thought, again, once they got to like what they were supposed to do, like the last act of the film was probably the best part of the film for me. There's a lot of just like story stuff that I'm like, yeah, okay, I get the daughter being connected and the new fiance and all. I just felt like
I like Ben Hardy, man. I do. I actually like them both, but I just genuinely going in, I liked it.
Yeah, the cast was great, and I liked it. I just thought it was just too much of the Warrens and then not enough of the Smurl family at the end of the day. I just wanted to see a tighter film, a shorter film. Just clean stuff up, I guess, is more or less my point. But I had a good time. I did. I had a good time with this movie. It's not the first Conjuring in my book. It is better than the other 2 entries they had. So this is probably the second best in the 4 that they've come out with.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm happy. I just wanted, I was thinking, man, where does this land as far as horror movies at the end of the year? It's definitely not, Bring Her Back, because that was a far superior horror movie.
Yeah, and Weapons and Sinners and even,
Yeah.
I would put this ahead of Final Destination Bloodlines. I think that's like the closest comp. So, I had a lot of fun with this movie. So it's flawed. It is bloated.
Yeah.
I will agree with all those things. But I like the cast. I enjoyed myself. I agree with you. Like the birth stuff, the end stuff. Like there's a lot like that barbecue scenes or whatever. Like all these things, like the coax them out of retirement stuff and everything else. Like it just adds layers that like you're like, I could take that out. I could take that out. And then some of the CGI, less practical, more CGI stuff can get a little wonky. But outside of that, they're still just elite jump scare people. Like the Conjuring one was already there when I was watching it at home by myself. It made me mad that I didn't get to watch a lot of these in the theater. I loved the experience. Sold out theater, middle of the afternoon or whatever. Great time watching it with all these people. So I don't know. I just thought like it was great to see all the instant reactions, to feel them. Like I had the hair stand up on my arm with some of those because they're just so good at it. Yeah.
No, they know what, like you said at the top, they know what they have, they know what they do, and they do it well. And I'm not the biggest jump scare guy, but they do it effectively in these movies where it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man, that was good. But again, they set the atmosphere so perfect where you're just like, again, your hairs are standing up like, oh my God, like what's going on?
Yeah.
They do an effective job. Like they really do. I just felt the runtime is what weighed me down in this movie. Like specifically, like you said, the whole birth scene at the beginning, the whole stuff at the end, and that whole barbecue scene was like, we could shorten this up. Like,
yeah.
Other than that, like I really did enjoy myself.
Yeah. And literally this was their final case. So it's hard to be like, oh, can they do more? I'm like, then they'd have to go backwards. They'd have to probably recast. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for that. And they'll probably, again, do a spinoff or something or however it works. Because, again, it's so much money. So I get it. They'll probably make some attempt, but or make a TV version. I always say, like, if you have a successful movie franchise and you want to recast, like, you don't want to do it so fast, just do a TV thing, break the spell, and then worst case, go back to movies later, because they just want more of these files. People can't get enough, and I'm one of them. Like, I'm in now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and check out Conjuring 2, and The Devil Made Me Do It. Although I hear that one is a little bit different than some of the other ones, and maybe takes a step back because of it. But I definitely want to at least watch. Especially I'm a big not just into these guys, but also it's in London, right? So like I'm a huge Anglophile, big Anglophile. So that is something that interests me, and I will probably get into that. Probably when I get into like the October, just trying to catch up and do all that. And especially like, I don't know if I'm just totally sleeping on James Wan, frankly, because I'm not an Insidious person. Up to recently, I wasn't a Conjuring person. So I don't know. Maybe I need to dip in and go a little bit more into like the franchises that I've kind of escaped from in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, you should. Insidious was a good series. Well, the first two are solid, and then it kind of just meh after that. But no, there's some good entries franchises. There. Yeah, most franchises. So at the end of the day, Andrew, I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5. It was very solid. Love the cast. It just was that runtime and just the weight of the film. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm in that zone of like soft 3.5, strong 3.
Okay.
I think I just had too much fun with these people because I really did enjoy Mia Tomlinson, who's relatively new. I hadn't seen her in anything, and she's adorable. I thought she was great in it. Ben Hardy, I've liked him a long time. He's, he was in X-Men First Class. He was in Love at First Sight, a really good Netflix romance movie that if you've never seen it, I definitely recommend that one. And he was in Bohemian Rhapsody and all these other ones. So he's a good actor, and I like him quite a bit. And I thought he was good for this role. Are there hokey parts? We've talked about all the problems, but yeah, if I would love to give this a cheat code 3.25 because it's right in that thing. It's got a 3 right now on like a solid 3 on Letterboxd.
That's about right.
Yeah, I just look at it and I go, that feels low. But I if I saw it any higher, I'd be like, Right. So it's tough. So it's right in that zone. So I'm with you. But again, I just had.
It's
damn
a
good
fun
time.
It's a fun, a fun, solid watch. It just weighs on you a little bit, but people go see it because, like Andrew said, like the movie going experience was good. Having a packed theater, 4:30, it was great. Yeah,
I'm with you. And again, just adds to another like solid horror year, and we haven't even gotten into October yet.
Nope.
We still have. I do. For a later conversation, I do want to touch in on Black Phone 2 now that we've seen like a couple trailers, seeing like
I wrote that down in my notes.
But I don't know how well October's going to go is my thing. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, I just don't have a lot of love because it's like what Five Nights at Freddy's and Black Phone 2, and I can't even remember if there's other stuff that I'm missing in the horror realm. Probably not anything like crazy. Except next week we should be covering The Long Walk, which is not horror, but it's Stephen King, so we'll get there.
In the ballpark.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, the one thing that I didn't mention out of Last Rites, did you have the same thought when Annabelle gets big at towards the end? Did you have the same feeling? It felt like a diet version of the mother from Smile when she got all huge in that cab, or the ending of that movie. So I did feel that because I was like, oh shit. Because that Smile one like messed me up because I thought they did a much better job with that as far as the look and the feel and whatever. This one, it felt a little more, I don't know, cartoonish or put on, especially, and more CGI-ish, that it took me out just enough to not scare the crap out of me. But I thought it was still well done. The Smile one, still, I'm like, I don't even want to watch that scene. that'll mess me up. But again, things like that. That's why I'm like, all right, this is a fun movie. It's good. But then you got like the spinning mirror, and you're like, all right, I've had enough. So, next movie, Shane, that we wanted to talk about, Caught Stealing. This is the new one from Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith from Game of Thrones and Doctor Who and everything else. There's a whole line of it's a well-casted movie. It's a deep movie. This one, it didn't make a lot of money. It didn't like blow the doors off or anything, but man, was this movie just a lot of fun. And I had a good time with it. And the scores are pretty solid. I think it's probably around a 3.5. It's hovered around that area, maybe even a little higher at points on Letterboxd. And I'm probably around that scoring. I love the late 90s New York City backdrop this movie has. The Piazza Mets, Kim's Video makes an appearance, Mr. Softy, Shea Stadium back, from Annihilation was cool. The Meredith Brooks bitch stuff. They played music from Buju Banton, who I love too. You're in Coney Island. You have flip phones. We have intrigue. I had a fun time. It's Zoe Kravitz at her most adorable, and that cat probably stole the show over everybody. And I'm super mad at Austin Butler for being far too handsome and too athletic for a man who had reconstructive knee surgery and a kidney removed. And yet that dude is like full on athletic, just running up and down the streets, dodging bullets and hitting people with bats and stuff. So I thought the end lost the plot a little bit, but not enough for me to like drop this one way down. I just had a lot of fun. So what did you think of this one?
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Hey, there you go.
I loved it. I had a great time with this movie. I'm a more or less. I do like Darren Aronofsky's films.
I didn't think he had this in him, though. Did you?
I thought this was. It was funny, and I know he did The Wrestler, which is kind of a straightforward movie. But I felt like after watching this, I'm like, it's kind of like Guy Ritchie with The Covenant. Like, this is like straightforward movie. It's not none of his weird, twisty imagery kind of movie where he can kind of lose me in spots. Yeah. Like he did with like Mother and The Fountain and stuff like that. Sure. This movie's balls to the wall, man. And I absolutely, like you just said, I love the New York late 90s setting. Austin Butler was great. Him and Zoe Kravitz, Liev Schreiber, and oh my God, Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. I thought they were funny. I mean, this movie made me laugh at parts. It was just that old type of, like you said, late 90s movie that I just grew up with and just absolutely loved. I love the pacing of the film. Everything about this, like his backstory and how he's pretty much kind of an alcoholic, maybe an alcoholic.
Oh, he's definitely an alcoholic.
Right. And and the trauma that he suffered with the car accident and his friend.
Which is really well done, by the way.
Yeah. And him calling his mom every day. And just being that, like you say, good boy from the West Coast kind of thing. And his story comes full circle, which was kind of nice. But again, the cat stole the movie.
It did.
It really did. And it was just great. I left this movie thinking that was effing good. This was a good movie. One of the better ones I've seen all year. In fact, it would probably land at my number 5 spot for the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how much I enjoyed this film. Like, I could rewatch this film multiple times.
It is rewatchable.
And take other parts from it. Just like that whole Regina King I thought was good too. Like, yeah. She was a little over the top, a little machismo, like just
I know it was by design. So I didn't want to like lose it too much, but yeah.
But I think my favorite scene is when Schreiber and D'Onofrio walk into the Russian place at the end with grenades and
light
shit.
It up.
Just light it up.
Yeah.
And that whole dinner scene with their mom, I thought was great. Again, this movie had it all. I love this movie. So I ended up giving it a really high 4, if that makes sense.
Like a strong 4 versus not 4.5.
It's not a 4.5, but I can kind of get it there maybe on a second viewing. But it's definitely a really strong 4 for me.
I had 4 in mind for a lot of the movie, and I think the end just went on a little too much, especially for the payoff of what it was. And I had a good conversation with my buddy, also Mike from Mike and Oscar, and he had more of a issue with the movie, and I can see why. It didn't bother me as much, but I kind of agree with him. Butler and Kravitz are so damn good together that it does hurt when she gets, for lack of a better term, sidelined without spoiling anything. So when that goes into, when it focuses more on Butler alone, or Butler and Matt Smith, I think that's when things take a mild notch down. Only because she's so good and they're so good. I mean, it's a blessing they have such a great cast and these really unique characters and everything. I think it just takes a different tone. It immediately goes from like, I was actually very impressed with the fact that this movie has stakes and very early has stakes. It doesn't mess around. It's grimy. It's punk rock aesthetic. It's the whole nine. So I like that. But I think by the time we get later and later into the movie, it gets a little almost like less real, slightly more cartoony. Like the larger than life characters start to evolve more, and just the constant escaping and escaping and escaping. Like, I think this movie should have ended 10, 15 minutes earlier and had some of that. And we could debate whether you liked how it actually ended, like where Butler's character ends up at the end of the day and everything else. But, again, just a delight, a fun time. Like, it's such a good one. I did a double dip, and that was like the second one. Man, so glad I did. So glad I did.
That's a good day at the movies.
It is. I've been having a really good streak, and we'll get into some of it later, too. I've been doing some of these just like double headers on a Thursday or on like a Saturday afternoon or something. Awesome. I haven't really had like a huge disappointment recently. Like, we could talk about maybe if you had one clunker here along the way, but I think just movies have been surprisingly good.
Yeah, they've been solid.
August into September, that it's like, I wish some of them made a little more money. We've done our love for Relay and Caught Stealing now and everything else, but shit. I can't knock the quality though, because it's not been a huge drop off to go from the blockbuster season of the summer into now. So that's pretty cool. Next one on the topic here, let's switch to TV for a sec. And let's do the newest TV episodes have caught our eye. You could kick us off because I'm not caught up on the latest episode of Alien Earth, but you are, and you wanted this on the list. So fire away, buddy, because what I will say is that episode 4, like 3 and 4, I've now started to see what they're really trying to do with this show, and I'm in. I like it. Yeah. And I hope it gets even more intense as things go on. But I think their world building and the characters are starting to take shape, and a lot of the complaints that we talked about in those first couple episodes when we did the first kind of look in, talking about the premiere, I think a lot of those are slowly trying to erode for me.
For me, this was the best episode of the season so far. It was my favorite. Because episode 4 is good, but it was a lot more story, slow burn. They're setting some more things up, and then episode 5 drops, and you're thinking it's gonna be the same thing. And man, it is probably some of the most gruesome stuff we've seen so far.
Okay.
Because basically, based off the first episode, when you kind of see the crew perish in that first episode, this is the episode that gives you what happened to that crew. Like, why did it get to that critical point?
Oh, okay.
So it explores all the characters on that ship, how stuff escaped, what was going on. It was awesome. It just felt like if you're a fan of like the Alien, like the first Sigourney Weaver movie, this is almost like the second best Alien movie in that kind of setting.
Yeah, okay.
And it just propels stuff even more further, and you're like, okay, now I'm in. Because this whole episode again was just based on the cyborg. I forget his name, Morrow. Yeah. Right. It's basically him and what happened to that crew. And it just has you on the edge of your seat. You get some of these things like escaping, and you get this really good scene with the xenomorph and that little octopus eyeball creature.
Oh, yes. So iconic now. Yeah.
I'll say it, but you'll have to see the scene. They actually go at it. Like they get into a scrap.
Those two?
Yeah, which was very interesting. But you get some really good kill scenes, some gruesome stuff, and you're like, oh man. Yeah. Best of the season so far. I am so far in. I love what Noah Hawley. Yeah. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
Is doing with this franchise right now. And I'm just glad he got his hands on this because man, it's great storytelling. The visuals are perfect, like the effects are great. everyone is just spot on with this cast right now. So like episode 5, just buckle up, man, because it's like, whoa, this is an alien movie now.
Yeah, and to me, it's such a risk at episode 5 of 8 to go into flashback, to go back to something that we kind of already saw some of.
I was kind of worried about that because I'm like, are we really rehashing this? Like, This is what this whole episode is going to be.
Yeah.
But when they go into the details and they kind of go when the crew got on there and waking people up and everything that's going on and one emergency after the other emergency and just see how everything happened, you're like, oh, yeah, it was good. I was blown away.
Nice. I might fire that up after this. But I'll tell you, man, Peacemaker, like, again, another show that, like, we stated this is where we hope the show will go or what we'll get from the show eventually. And a lot of that had to go with we're not having as much fun yet, right? And that was after our conversation after episode 1. We're now just after episode 3 now. And I'm sitting here going, Tim Meadows is the greatest thing to add to the show with his bird blindness is the funniest thing ever. He was like, he didn't tell me about the duck. It's like, it wasn't a duck. And Eagly going ham in the previous episode and setting all that up to then getting an eagle hunter to appear in the form of Michael Rooker. So good. And then just the alternate dimension stuff is so good, not only just from like an emotional level, but like that whole scene with the Sons of Liberty and the takeover. What was it of the wasn't a post DMV. Thank you. Amazing. An amazing scene. I love where this show is at right now because it's setting up so many levels. I didn't know I had to probably rewatch Suicide Squad and really digest it coming in. And I feel it's getting more and more important as things go, especially as we add this extra dimension. But yeah, that whole scene of him just getting almost like, you know, going on his motorcycle ride and everybody loving him and the woman flashing him and like all this stuff. It was so good. And I'm just loving it. I just like smiling ear to ear. And it's got so much promise in terms of the storylines that they're setting up. And it just is so damn funny. And the action's tremendous. Again, like it's everything that I was hoping for. And again, we're only in episode 3.
I believe I still like episode 1 a little more than you, but I do like where they picked up from episode 2 with the whole Eagly thing. And Tim Meadows, you're right, has me dying when he named all the people and called her like titties and called everyone
so
else.
Goddamn funny.
So great. He's like a scene stealer, man.
Yeah.
And then episode 3 just makes it a little more fun. And it's just the whole him connecting with his brother. I like, you know, and
that's
we kind of felt like
the emotional part. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of, we felt like I at least felt like he would stay, like we both said, stay in this universe. And that's kind of what he's trying to do at this point. Because again, he's like best universe ever. Yeah. You know? Like, again, that whole DMV scene with that freedom group there he took out was absolutely great.
Yeah.
All the side characters. This is just a just knitted cast that just works so well off each other. It's so funny. And the action is so good. And this is one of the best like comic book series on TV right now, period. And man, John Cena like is doing, like, as we said, this is like a part that he was just born to play. And I like you talking about the Suicide Squad. I love the Joel Kinnaman version of him in this, like knocking over the trash can, trying to hide behind his desk, you know, just all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm digging it, man. I love where they're going with this season so far. And I'm just ready. And the perfect time is like 37 minutes was the last episode, and they pack a lot into it.
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
never overstay their welcome. I like how they're flexible with that for sure.
Yeah, so it's great, man. Everyone get on the Peacemaker train. Everyone get on the Peacemaker train right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. It's, you know, we always, you know, I know it's only episode 3, but in terms of context of how much fun I'm having and thinking about like better shows of the year, I'm like, this is it, man. Like, this is just so enjoyable. I think about this a lot now about rewatchability because there's so many like good shows that are just like heavy dramas or stuff like that you're like, oh, it's great. But like what I still go back and when you're like, I just need a show to watch. Like how many times like I just binged several seasons of Parks and Rec for like the millionth time, or I'm now watching Community when I'm not watching something for this podcast or whatever. But it's like, where are those shows that are rewatchable, repeatable? Like I was happy to go back and rewatch like Poker Face season 1 or stuff like that. Like, but just something that I don't need to overthink, that is super enjoyable. It's light, but also really well written and has characters that I love. By the way, I know you didn't mention it, but we've now moved on from Owl Facts to Spider Facts.
Yes.
Did I ask me if they're fuzzy, Shane? I was just dying, and now we're gonna get more from other side characters from season 1, and it's so good.
You're right. You can definitely go back and rewatch these episodes. You can watch season 1 because there's a lot of either funny dialogue that you miss. The action is rewatchable.
Yeah.
Like James Gunn and everyone involved is hitting this one out of the park right now.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. The last thing, and it's a good spin-off of that, the last thing I wanted to mention, Shane, comedy is back. And I think you haven't watched a lot of these, so I think you need to tell yourself to get back on the train and watch some comedies and get in there, because I watched Splitsville this weekend. One of my favorite movies of the year.
Okay. It was actually on my radar when I saw the trailer. I'm like, this looks interesting. So
it's so funny, Shane, and it's got just enough story that will just keep you on the hook. And it knows it's not taking itself that seriously, but when it has to do like something like a serious enough scene to keep you on the hook for the plot and keeping it on the tracks, they're really good at that too. But man, just like the kind of like brotherly infighting, the open relationship jokes, the trying to stick through your marriage even when you're like literally becoming best friends with the lovers of your wife in the middle of like divorce stuff and everything else, and kids involved who are also kind of goofy and weird and hard. Like there's a really funny scene with a private school that the lead character works at, and the kid involved, Dakota Johnson, that marriage is falling apart, but they have to go in for purposes of something that happens with their son, and it's just so funny. It's just so funny. Like even just small stuff. I don't know how you feel. I see some commonalities with the movies that I'm probably going to talk about. When two men are fighting each other, but they really don't know how to fight, is some of the funniest shit ever. Because it's always like they're so committed, they're so into the moment, and it's so like raw that like they just forget, like, I don't know how to fight. And it's just like, but then sometimes like somebody will be like, no, don't fight me because I know this thing. I've been taking these like karate lessons or something. Like some random shit will just pop up and someone gets tossed through a table like it's WWE, or someone gets like kicked to the face in like a very believable and good way. Like everything was so goddamn funny with this, and it's so well casted. It's the main people. I think I fell in love with Dakota Johnson or Arjona every other scene that they're in. I'm like, these are two of the most beautiful women, and they're so funny, and they're so good in this role. And this is should be to tell you everything. How many times have I flip-flop on whether I like Dakota Johnson in a movie? Yeah. And it's a perfect casting. It's a perfect casting. So this movie, for coming out of nowhere and didn't really land on a lot of people's radar, has very high critical scores, and from your boy is, like I said, one of my favorite movies of the year. I had so much fun with this movie. So
that's encouraging to hear.
Yeah. So, and that's just one. Like did you end up catching The Naked Gun? Because I'm trying to like show that there's like a summer pattern here, where like Naked Gun made a lot more money than people thought could have. I thought that was going to blow up in its face. I had no real faith in Liam Neeson. That movie was very funny. That made me laugh a bunch of times. It's never going to hold up to the original, like Leslie Nielsen, the original Police Squad stuff. That stuff is killer sight gags, perfect acting. So good. So good. And they even do some nods to it in this movie too. So like Naked Gun was good. You know, you have Splitsville was good. I caught The Roses, which you were surprised that I did. But again, I was compelled because it had such high critical scores for being, again, just a studio comedy done by a really good, famous comedy director in Jay Roach. So I'm like, maybe this, how many times did I say to you, like, we don't have an Apatow anymore. We don't have, like, who's the comedy director? Because we always talk about with horror, we have this guy, you know, you have Peele, you have Krager, you have all these guys, you know, the Philippou brothers for Bring Her Back and, you know, all that. So, and Jordan Peele, like, we have all these auteurs. We have all these things that you could pull. But, like, when it comes to comedy, it was like, oh, well, we had Friendship earlier, and it's like star-driven, or it's, you know, something. This, man, like, Naked Gun was very well executed. Splitsville came out of nowhere. I can't wait to see what that person does next. The Roses, just quality people up top. You have Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman just going at it, you know, literally just trading bars. But the one thing that I didn't realize was going to happen was how it's genuine, like it's sincere a lot of times, where it's like these two people that actually do work with each other, but just they keep fighting for the marriage at times, and they just don't know how to operate. And you know, they even try seeking therapy and they laugh it off and everything out. Like, it just, they keep trying. That's the one thing that you kind of don't get from the trailer. You just think like, oh, one bad thing happened, scorched earth, and that's the movie. There's some of that, but there's a lot of like heart in here and people like really trying. And they just work so well together. And, you know, Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon and like all the people, like Allison Janney doing like literally just one scene crushes it. Like she's a lawyer for Olivia Colman's side, and she brings a dog, like a vicious freaking dog, to a divorce proceeding, and the dog just is like staring and like trying to like, intimidate everybody. It's so well done. It's so funny. You know, again, it's just another solid example of like studio comedies can succeed, and I think it made more money than I thought too. So like we're fully capable of this, and maybe it's just the fact that these came out in August and had limited competition or whatever you want to call it, but great. I'll take a bunch of these. Let's go.
All right. I that's encouraging about The Roses too. So without spoiling anything, is it as dark as the Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner towards
no.
the end?
Like it plays a little lighter. Like, are they as biting? Does it get as intense? Yes, but it's done in this very slick way that keeps everything kind of light on its feet and above board, that you don't feel like that they truly could kill each other, even though it comes really fucking close a lot of times. So, and the ending is obscure to where they're like, what did happen? So it's an interesting ending with that as well. So
that's what I was kind of getting to.
While I think the venom and the realness of the Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner version still is probably better than this movie, I like the tact that they took with this one, especially when you're taking two very serious British actors and two very serious kind of British characters, and made it its own thing just by having the social awkwardness of the uptightness, or at least the stereotypical uptightness of, you know, a set of British characters. So that I thought was a good, unique spin and does just enough. Like, is it better than Splitsville? No. Is it, you know, is it probably on par with my enjoyment of The Naked Gun? Close. Yeah, sure. It's probably all on that. Okay. But again, just keep throwing these out, man. They're good. And they're getting well reviewed too. So it's not even just me. I'm very happy to see it. And then we might have another one here, Shane, because our boy Yorgos is coming back with another film with Emma Stone and a whole host of characters. Jesse Plemons, Stavros, stand-up comedian, very funny. loves the Baltimore Ravens. So shout out to him for how much he must have been dying last night. But it's getting very well reviewed out of Venice. It had like a 3.8 last I knew. So, and again, that's a movie that is supposed to be a dark comedy, just like a lot of the old Yorgos. It kind of is a throwback, at least. Or again, like I had a great time watching Kinds of Kindness, which half of that movie is just laugh out loud hilarious and in a very dark and weird way. So with the same two at the head. So I don't know, man. I'm just so encouraged. I'm glad that studios are not shying away from this. And I hope that now that you've seen some of them actually make decent money and that, you know, hopefully they'll have a good life on PVOD and everything else, that this might be a trend to where as some things like superhero stuff is receding and all that, maybe there's a possibility that between like the romance genre stuff of like a Materialist and the comedies surging a little bit more, that maybe we can get back to like some of the genres that we saw a lot of in the 90s, maybe peak back up. That'd
be nice. I'm all for it.
I would like it. I would like it very much. So that's my big encouragement. That's my big note to land on. The one thing that I will say, A1, B, whatever I want to say. I'm just throwing out letters and numbers now. The Long Walk coming out next week.
I can't wait.
I was already like in because I thought the trailers were very successful and has a very good cast that I like. The reviews have been stellar. So I can't wait for that one. Again, like a high 3 score from like, how many times have we been like, how many more Stephen King things can we possibly do? And yet you keep getting a new version of stuff that is super effective. So the fact that, you especially like have been climbing the charts with Life of Chuck, and then now we're going to get another Stephen King property at the end of the year with The Long Walk. Plus, we're going to get Welcome to Derry, and they're re-releasing. Did you see this? They're doing a It re-release where you get to watch a sneak of Welcome to Derry with it.
I did not see that.
So they're making some smart marketing moves in that regard and getting back into that universe. So Stephen King, arrow pointing up still. After all this time, so many properties, so many attempts at trying to capture his essence, and we're still moving on with that. And plus, I've been, checking out everything from Venice and Telluride and everything else, as I mentioned, with Begonia and some of these movies that are kind of coming to, like, are they serious Oscar players and all those type of things that I like to check out. Whose performance is rising to the top, who's possibly in the best actor, best actress categories and things like that. So I'm very excited because some of these movies that we've been, maybe putting on a most anticipated list, or we're close, or at least we've had conversations about, like both Safdie movies, for instance, or multiple Netflix movies, which helps me because I need to have something good coming for that after what's been a kind of a more difficult Netflix year. You have new Noah Baumbach movie with Jay Kelly, with a lot of praise coming towards Adam Sandler on that one, especially some for Clooney, who's the lead in that one as well. House of Dynamite, the Catherine Bigelow movie, is probably getting the best reviews of all the Netflix ones. And that comes out very soon, like a month away. So I'm super pumped about that now. And, Frankenstein didn't get panned, so you got that from Netflix, and plus Train Dreams that they acquired out of Sundance. So they have like multiple movies that are all there. So that's going to help me. Chloe Zhao coming out of the Marvel Universe and coming back into the awards conversation with Hamnet, the Shakespeare tragedy story that influenced his writing of Hamlet. And then just a lot of other big time directors coming back or big time performances, and then seeing ones that maybe didn't succeed too. There's been some issues with After the Hunt that, even though people love Julie Roberts, the rest of the movie is very divisive. So, and didn't go over very well when it was at Venice. And then everybody is like, is The Rock possibly going to win Best Actor? That would be insane, right?
That would be insane.
But like The Smashing Machine getting very good reviews.
Yeah, getting good.
I think it's at 83% on Rotten Tomatoes last I saw, and TIFF is going on right now. I think a lot of these awards coming out of the last few festivals here is going to be very important, because right now I think it's the most up for grabs I've seen in a long time. So I'm encouraged.
I'm looking forward to half of those that you said. So let's go. Let's end this year with a bang.
I'm hoping, man. I'm really hoping. And like I said, we could spit on Avatar, but that might have something to say at the end of the year.
Oh, I'll spit on it.
Is this thing on? The new Bradley Cooper movie is going to be at New York Film Festival, and I don't know if it's at TIFF right now too. But yeah, Roofman. I tell you, every time I see that trailer, I'm like, is this going to be one of the best movies of the year for me too? Because I'm not sick of it, and it's literally at every movie I've watched, and I've watched a lot. So big time year coming up, man. I'm very encouraged, but I'm already overwhelmed just staring at my watch list, going, good God, I am definitely hitting our normal marker that we like to try to do, 135, our very arbitrary number of how many movies I'm going to watch by the end of this year, new movies for the end of the year. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So, and it's packed. There's some of these weekends where it's like 3 or 4 movies that I want to see in a weekend. So something's going to fall through the cracks, but I know I'm going to the Woodstock Film Festival and all these other things. So I'm going to pile them on, man. I plan on watching a lot of like double-digit movies there, and it's just going to keep going and going. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And then we get the holidays and everything else. Is there anything now that, like, everything that we've talked about and that's what's out there and whatever, like, I'm looking forward, like I said, to the long walk, but like, is there something still more immediate? Like, what's the next big thing for you? Like, you're just like, I need this in my life.
Outside of the long walk, I wouldn't say I'm jumping on anything in particular. Like I need this in my life, like you put it. Just a lot of like solid movies, like you said. I am looking forward to the Catherine Bigelow film because I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that one. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll tell you what I'm not looking forward to now. And I don't want to like belabor or like just keep going here. But you brought this up earlier, but the second trailer for Phone Booth 2 did nothing for me.
Black Phone.
And I'm like, Black Phone. Sorry, Black Phone.
Colin Farrell just got excited.
Yeah, I know, right? He did. I am looking forward to that. The Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie.
The Big and Beautiful Journey.
Yes, I think that's the
journey, yeah.
Yes, that is what I'm looking forward to. I think that's the end of the month, I think.
I think so. I think they moved off. I think they were supposed to be the same weekend as PTA, but I think they moved it off.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm really want to sink my teeth into next. So I have high hopes for that one.
Yeah.
But Black Phone 2, I'm like, the whole time I'm watching, it's like, so is he like this generation's Freddy Krueger now? Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
I'm like, that's a really lame way to take that franchise. And I know I haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it yet, but like, I don't like that twist. I'm like, that's Nightmare on Elm Street all over again. Like,
it is. Okay. Except you watch the origin story of Freddy Krueger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So
I think it's the only way that they think they can go forward with it. So
I guess, but now my bar is set really low, and I'm not as excited to see it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way. Like, it might surprise me, but like, I just don't think it has the same impact as that one location. Really, I mean, it's such a good look in terms of a villain. So,
right.
And I think they're just trying to play that for even more demonic. I understand the thought and the leap, and when you have Ethan Hawke, like, you're just gonna go and horror prints money, so you're gonna try. But I don't have a lot of faith in it. Yeah. But again, I've been surprised by a lot of stuff lately. I can't really.
I know. I don't want to hit it too much because we haven't seen it. But I just don't like the whole Freddy Krueger thing.
Yeah,
I just don't. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, and it's no shade on Ethan Hawke, but I thought he was already a little out of pocket in the first one. That I wonder if it's just going to only get worse now that he's supposed to be even more demonic and crazed.
Right. So we'll see. It's a we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by you. Fun week. Obviously, you're healing up nicely,
yes.
And you're on the mend. So that's good, and it's commendable for you to stay in the game here and finish this off on a hot streak here. Be sure to do all the things out there. 5-star reviews wherever you're listening. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And tell a friend so they can join in on the conversation with you and us and everybody else out there at Recent Act Pod on the socials. And be sure to come back next week because we should be talking more Stephen King, which is a thing we always like to do with The Long Walk next week for more recent activity.